welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna open Affinity and learn how to make a calendar. So right now we're opening up the new Affinity like this. I am doing a voiceover because me doing a screen recording, you hear this gigantic like clicking noise. It's so loud. So I'm hoping that this is better. So yeah, we're gonna make a new document. I already have like a preset. I like my calendars at 8 by 8. I love the squares. Um, that sounds bad, but I know what I mean. Um, so I named my preset. Make sure everything is right. So if a client wants a different size, you can easily change it. And here's the settings. We do want facing pages bleed because our photos are going to go to the edge and we don't want a white border. Mm, multi-pages because this is a booklet. You're going to print it out as so. That's why um, when you make a calendar, it's Publisher or InDesign if it's Adobe. They're big on the multi-pages of things. Also, a good habit is practicing with your own printer, which I do to make sure all my stuff is correct. Because back when I first learned how to make a calendar, I think it's the cover that gets flipped. It's been years, to be honest. Alright, so we're gonna make a master page to get our margins. I kind of do the same as I do for the grid for the top part. Just in case if I have to flip the page, I still have the grids there just in case. Like, guides are just a man's best friend. Yeah, my dog didn't think that was funny. And we're gonna apply it to all pages. So everything got a guide. We will go back and edit this also. So we get the art text box. Not the text box, but the art text. And we're gonna write our months. You could go one by one, like January, do the grid, or just go down, write all your months. I have my phone calendar up so I know what grid to use. And we will be using assets, and I believe I show you in this video. Sorry. Text is good with breathing room. So you don't want your text touching like the edges of your artwork or overlay. And I think here I spelled February wrong. And like, I also mess up on spelling Wednesday. Like, those are the month and weekday that I mess up on. Don't know why. So next year it's 28 days. And this is me showing like how assets you can edit afterwards. If it's not a JPEG and it's a, like for instance, if it was a grid, it's an easy fix. To be honest, I don't know what I press that hit the tools, and I was starting to panic. To be honest, I'm like, what? Um, there is a thing where it does say the tools, and I just kept missing it. Me in this text box. All right, so now we're in the month of March, and for this calendar, I wanted to show an easy print, because I was testing out the print settings, because I haven't printed a calendar in years, so I don't remember. Again, being honest here. Doing a resizing. And I know I do show you how to do the assets. Oh, here you could change the color. So March is the month of green for St. Patrick's Day. So I try to make it like a light green. There's other ways that you could do this. I mean, if you have no like color and it's like a see-through, a transparent background, right? You could put a color box underneath and do it that way. Now we're in the month of April. Text tool, all caps, April. Okay, so drag over the grid, resize it, make it fit into the guides. Delete the extra 31. I don't know why we skipped back to January. But yeah, we're just resizing. We're gonna add a guide. So all this spacing between the month name and the calendar grid are equal. And we're gonna do the same thing for February. But now I'm gonna show you how to make a calendar grid. First, I'm gonna show you what not to do. Because I make the calendar starting with a 1. So I'm actually gonna skip this part and go to the how you're supposed to do it. Okay, I'm back. Before I show you the right way, I'm gonna show you how to align um the table to the right side in the table setting. So you select everything, and then you're going to go to Windows, and there's a thing for tables. Here I am just telling myself to like keep scrolling. It's right there. You almost got it. It's one of those like your focus brain and you just don't see it. And then it's the table. You want the table one. I don't know why. I hit it twice. And this is everything that you can do in your calendar. I mean, in the table formatting. Okay, and then I will be right back to how to actually set up the grid. Okay, so we select copy, go to row 2 and paste it. And row 1 is where it's the days of the week. When you're done, you're gonna want to um, save this layer as Sunday because it's starting on a Sunday. And that's how you're gonna know which grid you chose. So for your assets, you want the category. So for this, it's for calendars. And then the layer be Sunday. And then you drag it. And I'm going to show you that. And then you could drag it over back onto the document and resize and edit to your liking. And I think here's where I accidentally deleted my grid, which is very upsetting. And here I notice I'm like, oh no. So here's a way to fix it. Is deleting all the numbers and starting on Sunday, you put a 1 and then go down the grid till you hit 31. Save it as an asset and then make it where it's a fits a February grid, which is 28 days in this instance. And we're going to delete it. Start on a Sunday. Why I hit a Command C, I don't know. Starting on a Sunday, we're going to say 1 and then go through every single grid to stop. I'm going to fast forward to the end of it. But yeah, it's type in blah blah blah, tab, blah blah blah, tab. Okay. And this is what it looks like when it's done. And here I pressed a button which got rid of all the, you know, the border, the tools, and the different, tabs. And I'm like, what did I do? Don't know. Uh, which eventually I find. And I'm keeping this in just in case this happens to you too. Um, but yeah, it'd be in Windows, I think. And then there's like a tool, like, again, focus minded. Like, if you scroll all the way down, like right above toggle, there's a thing that says tools. And this felt like this took longer than it actually did, me watching this back. So I got the top part up. Now we need the other tools, the pen tool, the text tool, the grid tool. It's a view! Go to view! Me in every scary movie. Don't go in the basement! I don't know what I'm doing here. Like, what the heck? No, tools! Go back to view! Tools! Like, I feel like me struggling here, I could have easily got this done. But I thought, hey, I'm gonna take this time and save my document. Alright, so I finally figured out how to get the tool, and I'm gonna quickly show how I did it. You go into the view, and you scroll all the way down, you see the tools, and select dock and show. It was really that easy. I'm very upset that it took me a while to figure that out. And then I noticed that I kind of made a screen share, so I wanted to show that. And I showed that this table starts on a Wednesday, so my layer is called Wednesday. And the merge cell, you can right click on, like, this example, row 7, and there's a merge cell. And now there's your little small notes section that you can add into the calendar. Make it fit to the grid. Off camera, I'm gonna fill up the calendar. But I do go through and make kind of a minimalist design. It's just a rectangle and just changing the colors. Um, this is the best way on showing um how a print in the booklet is gonna look different. Okay, and I am back and rolling. So back to the calendar. I am showing you the bleed and the importance of the bleed. You want your photo. If your photo is going to be touching the borders of your document, you want to go over that. And that is so if the printer is off a little bit, you would get this white, uneven white line or the paper color to show. And the bleed will help that. And so that's why the photo frame will be outside of the paper or the document. So this is how the print is going to look. And then this is how it's going to look with the bleed outside of the document. So you won't really tell um, and there's always that printer adjustment, so it changes by printer. It is always good to be friends with your nearest printer or your go-to. They will let you know about your settings. And don't worry, I will show you how to set up the printer. Well, for at least for my printer, for it to work. And I'm only doing a minimalist design because I am printing on my printer to make sure the settings is correct. The settings are correct. Um, so I'm just doing like a box and going through and changing the colors to each month to show like how it looks when you print it. Um, and CMYK is for print. RGB is for digital. Because the inks for the printer is cyan, magenta, yellow, black. Digital works with the lights in your computer or whatever, and that's red, green, blue. Yeah, I believe like that's what that is. I know the printer stuff. And it's like the dots kind of thing. So here I'm just gonna go through every page. In the top part of the calendar rectangle, I'm just going to copy and then paste it on each thing. Um, the first one I'm like, okay, let me change it. Um, but it gets quicker. The further I go. February pink, March is green. Spring is pastel. Summer is more like warm colors. Fall is like the yellows, like a darker yellow, the orange. But October I wanted a pumpkin color, which I did explain when I recorded this. But I don't like the noise my computer makes. So, voiceover is so much fun. Alright, I think to make this quicker, we're gonna just skip to the printing, really. I do explain at the end of this clip. Um, I did this recording like different days and stuff. Um, but yeah, so we made a page for January of next year. So it's a good way to like promote your next calendar idea. So this was a minimalist. So maybe next year printer or calendar that you work on. So 2026 minimalist. 2027 pets, a pet design. Or maybe you do another unique like minimalist look or abstract or whatever. January 2027, that top part would be that. And then to kind of like have your audience have an idea to what they're gonna look forward to. Um, and then the back, because this is a print, a barcode is a must. Um, Usually, if you do photos, it's the like a grid of all the photos showing what you're going to see. If you did want to preview next year, the January 2027, it could be like a long poster. I don't have one for that ratio, so maybe next year I'll do something. So I'm gonna show you the printer setup. Okay, so the printer is fun. It's it's the putting the calendar together, creating and putting it together. So we're gonna hit Command P for print. I already made the preset of calendar. I didn't realize I moved this quickly. We want double-sided to be on. Print in color. We want that on, but because this is a mock-up, you could turn that off. But I'll be using it personally. We want it to fit to printable. The whole document. Portrait. Because right now, technically, our document is 8 by 16, and that's longer than an 8 by 11. Document layout. We're going to want to change this to a booklet. Because it is originally set up as single. Uh, to be honest, I don't know the book layout. I know the booklet. The booklet is what we want. Um, but yeah, so January beginning to the last January. So the next page is the last January to the beginning January. February, then it's the last month of the year, December. Okay? So that's kind of the pattern of a booklet. It's like first page, and then the bottom half, last page. Okay. Alright. So then we need the printer marks, which is the bleeds, the folds, the crop marks. And we need to make sure that it's turned on. The crop marks are like the 90-degree angle box. What you're gonna see is the fold marks. Alright, the media and quality you want normal. Draft would be good if this is truly a mock up. The reverse page would be useful for every couple of pages, but I'm going to show you how to do that later on. Watermarks, great for you're trying when you're posting stuff online. Um, but yeah. You see a lot, like I see a lot when it's like copy or something. And we're not going to hit print. We're going to go over here to the PDF, click on the down arrow, and save as PDF. Because we are not done yet. So I already printed this out and assembled it and all that stuff. So I'm going to call this calendar 2026 YT video, YouTube video. Okay. So now we have to open our new saved PDF file. Lucky us, it's right here. And now you can see that it looks exactly like our document, how we saved it. Okay, so I'm going to show you how your calendar is going to turn out if you just print it how it is. Okay. Okay, so we're at the table. So this is how it looks like. So when we open it, it's going to be January 2027. That's our last page. We don't want this. February is correct, but March isn't. Why did I skip May? How did I skip May? Wait, June, February, March, April. I skipped April. So I'm gonna show you how to set up your PDF. This is a good keep. So you staple it and you have it as a reference on what you need, what pages to flip. Because you're gonna have to do this next year. Um, and there is probably a printer setting. I just don't know how to set my printer to that. So let's go back to our computer. Here we are. And I will show you how to flip the pages. Okay. I will eventually be fixing this because January 2027 and January with the top part was fine how it was. It was the photo and the January. February was fine. I think we had to flip February month. And you would say that I double checked my work because I already put it together and fixed what I needed to do. We needed to flip November. October, September, August. probably staple it as a calendar. And yeah, July is fine because this is where the the closing of the staple will be seen. Okay. So we're going to save this document because this is what we're going to send to our printer. So we're going to save it. And then we're going to hit Command P for prints because we're going to see if this is correct. We're going to double check our work. Alright, Command P for print. So this is a already saved PDF. So everything that we did in Affinity should be saved here in the PDF. So it's a really a simple print. So really simple for us to, yep, just hit print, but I already printed it. So we're gonna just hop over to the table and I'll show you how it looks when you assemble it and staple it. Okay? So back to the table, staples, not all the way at the edge, you want to space it perfectly, and then one in the middle. And when you open it, we're not going to get the January 2027. So January 2026, February, and so on and so forth. So yeah, thanks for watching. Any questions, put it down in the comments, like, subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much. Bye.